Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dudes Watch a Movie, episode 16, where you guys have voted for this month's theme, which was Marvel movies. If you haven't, got that.
Marvel March, right?
Marvel March, this was that one. I don't have a lot of memorabilia, honestly. 90% of this stuff is this guy's.
I'm very excited for this month.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That being said, it was my choice for the movie, and I picked Thor Ragnarok, which is phenomenal. If you have not seen it, do it. Preferably you'd have seen it before watching this, because obviously there's spoilers, but I'm not gonna. Whatever.
It's out on digital now.
That's true.
And it'll be on home video.
Home video and
Home
VHS.
video coming soon. Next month. Early next month. But I didn't want to wait till Tuesday.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so movie made in 2017, directed by Taika Waititi.
Which I think we'll refer to him as the director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of remember Taika.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway, plot for this film. Thor is imprisoned on the other side of the universe and finds himself in a race against time to get back to Asgard to stop Ragnarok, the destruction of his homeworld. At the end of the Asgard civilization... Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, at the hands of an all-powerful new threat to the ruthless Hela. No. That being said, quite the star cast, although I'm not surprised in the least bit. It is a Marvel movie. It's got a budget.
Yeah.
Very big budget. Starring such people as Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Kate Blanchett, Idris Elba, Jeff Goldblum, Tessa Thompson...
It's all-star cast.
Carl Urban, Mark Ruffalo, and Anthony Hopkins, and Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That little bit.
I would love to know how much. Do you think he did it for free, or do you think he got paid a shit ton to just be in the movie for 5 seconds and say 2 lines?
I honestly have no idea. I don't know I don't know. I mean, would it help his career? Not that he really needs that.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Well, I mean, after that Great Wall movie, maybe, who knows?
Oh, forgot about that.
Yeah, apparently it was not good.
Haven't seen it. Probably not going to. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes up.
Yeah, you never know. Next Japanuary, maybe. I'll pick another Chinese movie.
I was gonna say we could do Manga May, but that's more. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
So we're going to begin off. We typically don't have a structure, but I'm going to start with the opening dialogue. Is quite the setting for the film in itself. Obvious thing probably throughout this, you'll notice I've never seen the Thor movies at all.
Nor have I.
I may have seen him in other Avengers films, and that's about my extensive knowledge of Thor.
Yep.
So whether or not he's this smarmy and sarcastic throughout the other films, I don't know. Either way, it was a good setup, I believe, for his character in this film. Right from the get-go with the monologue, talking to himself, and he just doesn't take anything serious, and he makes everything entertaining. But I guess that'd be the mindset you'd have if you're a god.
Honestly, that was really jarring, because I always think of Thor as more like stoic. I mean, he is in the Avengers movies. He's got some funny bits, but it always seems more like a fish out of water. Doesn't understand the culture that he's around.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if at this time he's spent enough time around the culture and is trying to apply it per se.
Potentially,
Just limited knowledge.
It seems like, especially at the beginning. The entire first scene, it seems like they wrote that for Star-Lord, but he was in it. Like it would have seemed more like a Star-Lord move to be talking, hold on, let me come back around one more time, and then try and do something cool, but mistime it.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem very, very Thor, I guess, but like I said, I haven't seen the other movies.
True.
They always seem kind of boring and dark.
Which is why I kind of thought it was like a spin-off of something that wasn't in line with what they're doing now, which, I mean... Like, when you think about Logan, it's not necessarily in time with what the events of X-Men. It's kind of... Is it? I thought it was its own little, take on...
That's why it's got the same actors in it. Like, Patrick Stewart's there, and...
I guess, I don't know, it just feels like it's its own little bit that doesn't follow along with everything else, because obviously it's more progressive and violent, so... I guess I thought it was one of those. Anyway, that being said, the movie in itself's great.
Super fun.
Soundtrack's pretty good.
Yeah.
mostly because I believe we're both in the tech noir scene anyway. So that was good. It goes well with the futuristic setting. Absolutely.
I feel like this movie aesthetically is really, really good.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like the way it looks. We're getting into a fun era of Marvel movies now where they've started making them look not super boring. Like I like
not super clean and futuristic. It's more
not even that, but
craziness of it.
Like this movie seemed really comic book to me. Like the color tones and the way that, like the design of the world that Jeff Goldblum runs.
I see what you're saying.
All the other ones, not the other ones, but like the Phase 1 movies, like Iron Man and Captain America and things like that. They go with a really like
modernized feel.
Yeah, and really realistic. Like
I could see that.
They've gotten to the point now where they started doing all the mashups with them together, and Homecoming was kind of like this too, where it's starting to feel more like a comic book is coming back into the movie. Not a movie based on comic books, but like in a good way. They're taking all the good bits, like having the random cameos from Doctor Strange. Happens all the time in comic books I read, where not really a vital part, just there for a chat, but it's another character.
It brings you back into the universe. It's not like just that story.
Yep.
I could see that.
Which they've kind of put themselves in a corner. They have to do that with all their movies now. They have to have cameos from the other.
But that's not a bad thing.
It's not. I like it, but it's good. It's gonna cost them so much money. Like, how much do you think Robert Downey Jr. got paid for Homecoming?
And he wasn't in there all that long. Well, again, I know that's a lot. He was actually in there quite a bit.
But still, like, show up for 3 scenes, get like $3 million. Probably more than that.
They make a lot of money, just not off the movie itself. I mean,
that's true.
Look how much money you put into Marvel.
Yeah.
There's like maybe 5 minutes of an actor on set.
If not even close to that much. Come on. I don't know. I was really happy to see Loki. And then I was way happier to see Doctor Strange because I don't know if that was in the trailer. I just didn't really watch the trailers, but I was just like, fuck, yes. Give me more of that Magic Man. And how he's just whipping their ass. Oh, so good.
Well, he's just... It's like magic is the OP weapon in the universe.
If they don't have a scene with him and Scarlet Witch in Infinity Wars, I will be upset. Like, I want to see them doing their cool magic hand stuff together.
You might not be let down. I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the thing I really liked about the scene with Doctor Strange in it is you have this man who's very articulate or meticulous about what he does since he was a doctor. And then you have Thor, the barbarian, just kind of coming in and smashing everything.
Like his umbrella?
The umbrella, the little thing with I'm going to guess they're like throwing spikes. He just fumbles with that. And then his attempt at getting his hammer, you just listen to the crashing and you see Doctor Strange is just, why?
That's another one of those things where early on that humor, I was just like, It grew on me though, like I got used to it. It seemed really different from what he is in the other movies. And there was a lot of humor in this movie, honestly, which
I feel was good humor, but maybe it was because, would it be a director's type of thing to have that style of humor? Or?
I mean, that dude's funny. Like, what was it? Say it again. No, the movie he did with Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Hilarious. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that guy wrote funny stuff, especially you can definitely tell in your favorite character, who I'm calling early prediction for your MVP.
Yeah.
He,
Krog.
Whew. Something about that Australian, not Australian, New Zealand accent makes everything funny. Reminds me of Brit.
Hey, man. I think it's the tone, how it's delivered, and what kind of person he is. Like in the movie itself, he's supposed to be this big rocky dude, and he's just has the higher pitched voice, and he almost is timid, but not. He's confident, but in a oblivious sense. Yeah,
he almost doesn't understand either. Like, doesn't get the social. He can't read the room very well. Which you said that was the voice of the director?
Yep.
Everyone in this movie does a really good job. I especially liked seeing Carl Urban in this movie because he's one of my favorites. He was the guy that he had the two things on his head. He was bald, and he was kind of a coward, and then came back and helped save the day.
He went to Texas.
He went to Texas and got Des Instruction. Des and Troy, that's it. Des and Troy. Destroy. I was talking to you a little bit about it. The Marvel movies are starting to become the new Kevin Bacon. Or what was it? It used to be that everyone did an episode of The Twilight Zone or whatever. And they've got that fucking... I showed you that picture, right? Where they've got everyone that's remotely famous from the Marvel movies lined up on that one big stage, and they took the picture, and there's like 150 people.
I think so. But...
I'll spice it in the video here, but it's nuts. And I started thinking about how many of those people are from Lord of the Rings, and it made me really happy. You got Ian McKellen, he's Gandalf, and he's Magneto. Although technically not in this universe, but that's besides the point. Carl Urban was in Lord of the Rings. He was... I don't remember his name, but he was the son of the Rohan king. The one that got turned old and then...
Oh, right away and then brought back?
Andy Serkis was Gollum. And now he's in the Black Panther movie. He's the guy with the one arm that's down in Wakanda. Martin Freeman, also in that movie, was in The Hobbit. Kate Blanchett was in this movie, and she was in Lord of the Rings. There's so many people.
Yeah, I suppose.
So many. There's probably more. But oh, wait, I got another one. Doctor Strange was Smaug.
Doctor Strange's voice was Smaug.
That's true.
Actually,
he also did. I think he did the voice.
Did they do face?
Yeah, the face stuff. Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. Brings more authenticity to the character itself.
My favorite one, though, is probably... I guess not my favorite, but the most poignant one to this one was Kate Blanchett was Galadriel, and now she's playing almost the other half of what Galadriel almost turns into, where she becomes the evil queen. Mm-hmm. She's just like, I'm going to use that character.
In that movie, she's white. In this movie, she's black.
And her head thing is super cool. It's cool. I like the way it points at the people that she's looking at.
I was thinking, do you think she's got problems getting through doorways?
She just turns up. Well, I mean, she seems to just,
True. Although I did notice there's a scene where Thor smashes one half of her helmet away.
It comes back.
And they break off, and then in the next scene they're back.
They're magical.
Yeah, I took that into account, but I was just like, I noticed a little too many extras this time watching it. This would be my second viewing. My first viewing was in theaters, and it was amazing. So I caught a little bit of things here and there they missed, but other than that, they did really well. Honestly, for being so jaded watching superhero movies, like I watched, you'll disagree, but I didn't like the first Daredevil movie.
Oh, that's not good.
I watched that and I made the mistake of watching like Elektra, and then I also made the mistake of watching Iron Man 1 too many times, and so I just got a little jaded on watching superhero movies to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to enjoy them. But honestly, if they're going to start being like this, I will be more than excited to watch them.
It's
that and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That was great. Even the first one was good. So.
And that's the Guardians of the Galaxy is the reason for a lot of it too. Like, they really pushed it to the next level with making it fun and funny, and I think they've kind of ran with that. Obviously, Fox went the other direction with making it fun with Deadpool in like an adult way, but this seemed very much in that same vein, and I'm kind of worried that it's going to become the way they try and make everything. I'd like it more if they did it every once in a while. So like obviously those movies will always stay that way, but I don't want like the next Captain America to be the same way, or like Spider-Man wouldn't be bad. Spider-Man could be funny because as a character he is. Yeah. I don't want it to be every movie, and I really don't want like Infinity Wars to have
if they did that to like the DC movies like Batman.
They tried. They tried with Justice League. They tried putting in like that humor stuff.
Right, they did with the Flash. And
it doesn't work, does it? Mm-mm. They don't have They have it too dark and then too jokey and campy. They need to better strike that balance.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the entire story of DC though. Like even I have a note in here somewhere that Marvel even does CGI horn helmeted devil people in DC. Ares didn't look that great when he turned into the final stage, and Steppenwolf looked horrible, but whoever they summoned for Ragnarok in this looked super good.
They don't have fake mustaches either. Fake lips.
Oh yeah, the CGI'd out mustache.
Timing. That's all they had to do, and it would have been fine. It could have shaved it.
I thought for it being as funny as it was, when there were like moments of it supposed to be kind of a bit more grounded and poignant, they did a good job. Like, it was really weird seeing Odin die, like a god just dying of old age, basically. That was weird. You always think that they're going to go out like falling on a sword or something, but
especially someone of Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok. Asgard.
There you go. Although he went to Valhalla.
Technically, yes.
When they were sitting there in the grass field, that's pretty much how they describe Valhalla as being. Is it's just a giant open, flowing, like.
But
field.
don't you go to Valhalla if you die in battle?
See, that's what I was wondering too. But he's also Odin.
Once he's battling, I suppose
he's had his battles.
He's a king.
Yeah. It's also kind of weird that he's in this movie. Anthony Hopkins is like. They got. I don't know how Marvel does it.
Weird.
Because he's more of a. He's got gravitas. He's a proper actor.
I suppose. I mean, yeah.
That's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I'm aware who it is.
Yeah, I think he's won Academy Awards and stuff.
Something like that.
I don't know. It was just. It's still weird to me that he's in these movies, but I like it. I dig it. Thumbs up.
I suppose.
Why not?
I mean, don't some of the actors and actresses of Lord of the Rings have gravitas as well who are in these films?
That's true. Ian McKellen, like, who's got more gravitas than that guy? Right? Also, dope in this movie is Idris Elba.
Yes.
Dope in every movie.
Yes, true.
I was thinking, this is the first time I finally got to see him because fuck the other Thor movies. I like his character a lot, and I feel like if they were going to make any spin-off from like a Thor offshoot, because they're always talking about this person getting their own movie or this person getting their own movie, I want to see that dude's movie. It would give them a reason to make a movie that's a little like stylishly different.
Does he have that much of a background? I thought he was just a gatekeeper.
I don't know.
From all I knew.
I want to see him running around with a cape and a sword, like Lord of the Rings style. When they went to that big
I just
door.
want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Sometimes. But I want to see Marvel do a full fantasy movie. Like this movie did a really good balance of fantasy and sci-fi, because when they're in Asgard, obviously everything's more fantastical and it's like magic and it's swords and capes and undead armies and giant wolves, which was pretty cool. But then they shoot over to Jeff Goldblum's planet and everything is like a way better version of The Fifth Element. It's all colorful and futuristic and he's not annoying. That thing, you got me when you did that. I was like, you're right.
Yeah, no. I will say though, that city though, I don't know if you ever played the Ratchet and Clank games, but it took me back to like playing those games. It's that futuristic setting that's very colorful and kind of silly in its own right, but like I wouldn't say silly, maybe over the top, just like
definitely
Fifth Element style.
Which I mean makes sense given who their leader is.
The guards looked like Power Rangers to me.
Yeah,
Power Rangers mixed with Beetleborgs. For those who may remember.
I really like the primary colors that were all over that place. It's fantastic. Even their junkyard was pretty.
Really? Like it wasn't trashy brown and gross.
It was just like
filled with colorful armor pieces,
reds and yellow, and it was fantastic. And fucking. I didn't expect Jeff Goldblum to be so Jeff Goldblum.
He's like the dad of that whole place. He's like, now go get him, or you'll be in trouble.
What? Why'd you bring me the melting stick?
He never gets over the top angry though. No. Ruler too, which is comical. But he's got that craziness about him too.
The only bummer is I don't know if we'll ever get to see him again. Like, I don't see him being the kind of person that's going to go storming after somebody. He's going to be like, oh, well, I'll shoot.
I got away with my ship and my champion. I could see him having a small cameo in one, maybe.
Yeah, like showing up on the planet with the collector or whatever from Guardians, or Guardians go to his planet or something like that.
Just a small bit.
Oh, it'd be so good. I'm all for it. Him and Benicio del Toro just being weird with each other.
Anyway, the whole movie in itself, I think I especially maybe not counteract. You like the fantasy side of it. I really enjoyed the opposite, the whole new big city side of it. I enjoyed seeing the Hulk in a different setting. The animation, by the way, for him was phenomenal. Yeah. And I know it's only going to get better. But the only problem I had, and I didn't tell you during watching the movie, is it sounded like when the Hulk would talk that he was on auto-tune. Like when he would start talking and yelling, his voice had like inflections, and I can understand why, because he's a big monster, but
see, I didn't notice it.
It was taking me away from it a little bit.
They could also be splicing together
the two voices.
Yeah, potentially. Although Although Hulk's fully in control, so I don't know if they would or not.
Which is an insane idea
Yeah.
if you think about it, Hulk being in control.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for 2 years, he...
And he, you know what? He didn't destroy the city.
No.
He enjoyed himself.
I mean, he had, like, the brain of a 5-year-old. Hey, big girl.
A lot of people in this movie had the brain of a 5-year-old, to be honest. Like, Thor was not the brightest. When he threw that ball against the window and it just came back. A lot of slapstick in this movie.
Yes. Yeah. Which is probably why I enjoy it. I have a close tie with slapstick comedy that I don't think you're a big fan of.
It was...
I think I like Naked Gun.
It's so good, though. See, I like those movies. It's just, it was kind of out of place. Like, I don't know. Again, Guardians, it would make sense to
Maybe
me.
this is modern slapstick.
I think it's just the world. Like, when... I almost think it... So, I'm just going to jump to, like, one scene that really kind of didn't work for me.
Okay.
And it's when they're on the Rainbow Bridge.
Okay.
And he's like, fucking... Banner's like, I know what I have to do. And then... It was funny.
Right.
Like, I didn't see it coming. I thought he was going to land Hulk mode. But it goes from that, which is like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then they're like, now we're going to have this really serious fight. And they start playing Led Zeppelin. And I was just like, am I watching the trailer, I guess?
Yeah.
It's a good song, but it took me out of the... It took me way out of the... Like, the fight itself was
the
cool.
Intensity, yeah.
Like, if I watched that on mute, I'd be like, damn. And I almost want to cut it to, like, a different thing. But it's just... I don't know. That whole thing took me out. But they brought it back in with the fight with Hela and all that stuff. They went to regular movie soundtrack mode. It's one of those things they took from Guardians that I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Pop culture... Again, keep the pop culture references with them.
But I mean, what are you going to do when they merge? They get all together for the Infinity Wars, then you're just going to have a lot of clashing.
That'll be fine with me, because then they're there.
I suppose. So, most OP character I'm noticing in this film was the goddess herself, the goddess of death, as soon as she enters the city. My biggest problem, though, is at the end of it, with the big old molten guy. So, Thor in the beginning easily destroys him. And she gets easily destroyed by him, but she completely OPs everybody else, like Thor and whatnot.
And I can't remember what it was, but it's something he's talking to Thor about in the beginning, how all he has to do is this or this when he's there, and he's unstoppable. Plus, they use that everlasting like flame on him. Same thing that Hela did, which I think was giving her like that extra strength. Why he couldn't hurt her. Well, he could hurt her, but couldn't keep her down.
I suppose, but still, I just was a little bit taken back by it.
And to be fair, he did blow up the entire planet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But still, Thor took him down pretty easily within a short amount of time in the beginning.
Yeah, but I don't think he was at the height of his powers yet.
This lady destroyed Mjolnir.
Didn't poke him in the head. He didn't tell her his weakness right off the bat.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Monologuing, it'll always get you. No one ever learns.
Anyway, that's my complaint with that movie. Do you have any complaints at all? Have you had any? Did you see anything that's kind of obviously other than taking you out of the movie?
No, I mean, once I got used to it, it was fun. It seemed more rewatchable than a lot of the other Marvel movies. Like,
I was actually happy to rewatch this.
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones. Other ones kind of feel like a chore.
Kind of, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I gotta sit through this now.
Just to see what's going on with the rest of them. And it's kind of the point where, like, Thor, I was like, it's not worth it. Black Panther, definitely want to see. But I don't think I'll ever watch the other Iron Man movies again.
No.
I think I've seen the Avengers movies each.
At least once.
Yeah, I saw the first one in theaters, and the second one I've seen a couple times because I like the second one better. Because they got boy Spider-Man in it. But like Homecoming, watched multiple times. This I'll probably watch multiple times. I've seen Guardians multiple times. Now that they're bringing the color back in, it's just way more fun to watch, and they're getting more creative with their like styles. So they don't all seem the same. They, for the most part, keep a similar like tone throughout the universe, but the styles of the movies change. I am kind of bummed out now that Edgar Wright didn't get to do Ant-Man. So I hope they get to bring him back for another movie.
Who's doing the Ant-Man Wasp lady or girl, whatever?
Not a clue.
Preview was that I saw a preview for that when I went to go see Black Panther. Looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
Kind of excited. I haven't even seen Ant-Man though, but this one looks pretty good.
Say, I'm glad that Marvel movies are finally getting good enough to the point where you actually want to see them, and they're washing away the Daredevil and Electras of the past.
The grossness.
The pre cinematic universe movies.
Yeah, like I said, as much as I probably should watch the older movies, like the starting Captain America movies, maybe I think I missed one or two of the Thor movies, or not Thor movies, Iron Man movies. I've missed most, if not all, of the Thor movies other than this one. I don't know if I want to go watch them because it just, like I said, it sounds like a chore.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm getting the gist of it through what I'm seeing.
Through the other movies. It's something that, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it reminds me of comics where you've got the main entries. So, like in Civil War, which is now confusing because they had fucking Captain America Civil War, but in the comic book Civil War, they had like the main story arc, but then a bunch of the characters in that had their own subplots and their own books, and that's kind of what those movies seem to me now. So if you can watch Avengers 1 and 2, and then Captain America Civil War, and then the Infinity War movies.
They kind of go over everybody's story in the middle of all that anyway.
Yeah, those themselves make like their own arc, and then if you want to know more about the other characters, you can watch their individual movies.
But then you'll be disappointed because they're not as good.
Potentially, but it depends on if you like the characters. Like, I like Spider-Man, so I'm gonna watch every Spider-Man movie. I like Doctor Strange, so I watched that movie. Which
I did start with that one too.
Yeah.
Not start, but I did see that first one. And having a
Black Panther, I will see.
Honestly, I never knew about Black Panther until he showed up in one of the Avengers films. I've never heard of him before. Then again, I'm also not a huge comic, superhero. I enjoy comics, but not ones that are typically about superheroes.
Right, more the like independent saga style stuff. I did note that Hela comes from the Breach from Dragon Age Inquisition. When she first shows up after Odin dies, she comes out of like that green and black thing. It looks exactly like the Breach. I was waiting for him to go up to it and pull it in. Let's see. The big selling point, I should say, there's two selling points to me in the trailer. It was Jeff Goldblum, but the big one was the fight with Thor, which I think absolutely lived up to it. Like,
fight with Thor.
The fight with Hulk.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thor fighting the Hulk. That's what I meant to say.
Makes sense.
I think that 100% lived up to the hype.
Oh yeah.
Turns out, I hate Thor and I hate the Hulk, but if you put them together, like I'm all in. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I want to say there was like a small miniseries on TV with Thor in it, but I don't know if Bruce Banner was a part of that one either or not. Like Thor was trying to No, it was like a live action where he was just living with a roommate or something.
Oh, it was a web series, and they were like little. They were advertisements basically, but they were those short little skits. Was his roommate Dave or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Was that what was that advertising though?
The Thor movies.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know if it was specific to which movie.
No, I can't remember that. I think I just don't like Bruce Banner. Because when he's the Hulk and he's smashing things, he's fantastic. And that the other thing. The other thing is
maybe that's what they want you to feel.
Maybe. I hate Thor and Hulk when they're on Earth. But when they're on a different planet, it's fantastic. Because they're like, they can actually be in danger now.
Yeah, true.
Like when he was, the opening scene after he talks to...
Loki?
No. The horned demon man.
That guy, yeah.
And he's twirling his thing around and punching. The camera was like following Mjolnir. That was awesome. That was cool because he's fighting some, I guess, demonic creatures. I don't know.
Should have looked his name up.
Right. And when they're on Asgard, fighting the undead legions. And this game, I was about to get to a point where sometimes the shots and the CGI in this make it look like a video game kind of. When she goes down there and wakes up the wolf and all the other ones and they're glowing green, it looked like it was out of like Warcraft or something. But it looked good. Like it was very comic book and very video game, both in a good way.
I agree. It's a different type of cinematography, I guess, where I don't know, maybe they try to do that. A lot of games have really good cinematic events, and that's like their height of when you're playing it, so...
It also helps that there's a lot of CGI in this movie, but good CGI.
Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah.
Like it almost doesn't feel like it's CGI.
Asgard is fantastic. Disney obviously knows how to make a castle.
Did you see the Little Mermaid looking castle? I mean, it's what kind of reminded me of.
Did it have a penis on it?
No, probably. I might have.
There's a penis on my VHS tape case thing.
What?
Little Mermaid?
Oh. You have that?
Yeah. And I've got the penis on it. I was very excited to learn that in 8th grade subliminal messaging class.
Which was a fun class.
I don't know why they had us take that, but okay. You know what? Michelle is just woke.
Everyone thought she was crazy. Nah, she was woke.
But the fight, right. Yes. So the fight is the fight is awesome. First, I mean, you know it's coming, but the trailer shows Thor's reaction like, yeah, I know him from work. But I loved Loki's reaction. I have to leave this planet.
Yep. You knew right away he was fucked.
It was the dynamic between all three of them was great. And then when he smashes him and he's like, yes, that's how that feels. I liked the weird where he tried to be Scarlett Johansson and do like the thing to calm the Hulk down, and then he smashes him.
You were redeemed.
Everything about that fight was fantastic. They kept it was structured like a Rocky fight or like a wrestling match where one side would be beating down the other one and the other guy would be like, oh wait, I have this power I just learned about. I'm gonna beat you back, and then it just kept flipping back and forth.
That was something that always kind of puzzled me. Slightly unrelated, but how quick Hulk moves. For like any other movie where you see a giant, they're usually slow and lumbering. But this man, I'm guessing because he's a superhero,
he's the strongest Avenger.
Stupid fast for being as big as he is.
Yeah.
And just imagining the amount of force that man puts behind his hits and then watching Thor get pummeled by him was just like, whoa.
And it's crazy that Thor can hit him back just as hard too.
With his tiny little arms.
Yep. Can't win the fight though.
Nope.
Hulk's still too strong. Well,
technically he kind of did.
He was, yeah.
It was a...
Hulk still hit him with the Fist of God move though, which, from Shaolin or Kung Fu Hustle. Like... Isn't that the one you saw where he...
Bits. I didn't see all of it.
So he learns the move. He comes down with the palm and it's from God or whatever. And that guy was in Shaolin soccer, which brings us back to this movie.
That's a stretch, man.
It was a stretch. Mr. Fantastic.
Going for that reach.
I just want to see everybody fight Hulk. That's all I want. I liked it when Iron Man fought Hulk.
I never saw that.
I want to see Wolverine fight
like
Hulk
a
now.
Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
Supposed to fight.
That's in Avengers 2.
Maybe I have seen it. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I don't remember why they're fighting either.
Yeah.
Like I said, didn't watch those movies a whole lot.
Saw them once. It's like a one and done thing.
That's what I always say.
Also, their length. It's just...
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. They really stretched it out for an epic. But, I mean, how long was this movie, though? This movie seemed like it was decently long. I think this one moves quicker though.
Yeah,
it's got a faster pace to it. There's a lot of fight scenes in this too, and they're all really good.
All my favorite scenes had involved Krog in it because he's made it better. He's just he's like he brings it back down. I feel like with him there.
See, I kind of wish he was the only comic relief. Like I could have done without all the give Thor some jokes, you know.
Yeah.
But between your boy and my boy with we went to Texas. Like that was all the comic relief they needed. I want a buddy movie with those two. Finishing that revolution.
That would actually be really good.
I'd watch it. Even just give me like a short 30-minute thing.
Like Pixar does before their movies sometimes.
Why doesn't Marvel do that? That would be so good. Those side
people
characters
would have to have nerdgasms over it and complain about it as well.
I mean,
they don't go well together.
It'd be so good though. They've already got the post-credit roll. Let's get the pre-movie roll stuff too going on.
I suppose. Wheel.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I mean, I think I've hit them all. It was a very different and weird Marvel movie to everything else.
One thing we kind of missed the Valkyrie chick.
Oh, yeah.
Something that I wasn't necessarily expecting them to kind of branch out upon. Branching out with that, the whole story behind the Thor also was interesting. The twist of how Odin actually took over. I was not expecting that my first time watching it, and it's just like, ooh, okay. Well, I mean, it explains a lot, but trying to redeem himself by being a nicer side of things, that was cool. But that gets awakened by the Valkyrie's first appearance, I suppose. So
I thought she was pretty badass too.
I just like how she gets introduced as a drunk pirate mercenary chick.
Yeah. She's not perfect.
What else would you do after being a badass? Be a pirate.
Bounty hunter. I also like the short callback to Thor when he's talking about how he wanted to be a Valkyrie. And then he found out they're all girls. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He goes through the whole thing. That was one of the scenes that I thought was funny. I just don't know what they're going to do with all the characters, though. Like,
what do you mean?
For Infinity Wars.
Oh, which characters, though?
Like the Valkyrie lady, and are they all going to be there? Because she's going to die.
They might have their little short cameos where if they're there, then they're just not anymore.
That's what gets weird with these movies. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they wouldn't always be there, but they always end the movie like, hey, we're a squad now, or we're all buds, and then the next one starts with like, haven't seen you for a while.
I guess, yeah, they do have a crew of people, and what they're supposed to do with those crew of people, maybe we'll find out.
I don't know. I'm excited either way. Vision's dead, man. He's gonna get that stone ripped from his head, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of the Iron Man movies to remember where he came from right away, but then I know he's Jarvis.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all that I know, but I don't know how he started out that way.
It's
like I said, I missed those ones.
It happens in Avengers 2.
Maybe I haven't seen Avengers 2. Maybe I've only seen the first one, and the third one.
There's only two of them. The third one's gonna be Infinity Wars.
Which is the one where they fight all the things coming out of the sky.
That's the first one.
Okay, maybe I've only seen the first one. I got some homework.
Yeah. Maybe we'll watch Avengers 2 for the other one. It's got a bunch of these folks in it. Yeah. Cool. I've hit everything.
Well, let's what's favorite scene? Or what's the order? I never put it in my notes for some reason.
What the fuck moment?
Okay.
Favorite scene MVP.
You go ahead.
My what the fuck moment was the Rainbow Bridge when they started playing Led Zeppelin. Yeah, there was a lot of possible options in this movie, but like good ones, like what the fuck, what? Okay, but that was the only one where I was like, what the fuck? Why? I don't like this.
I suppose. I didn't really pick one just because there was no moment that I guess when your what the fuck moment was more of an. I suppose the most difficult. We're gonna rewind that back. Mm-hmm. My what the fuck moment was when the goddess of death destroys the hammer, because when you think about it, like that was kind of Thor's main go-to.
That was his penis.
Yeah,
she cut it right off.
Disintegrated it. Not only that, but like I guess it was explained when his father told him it was something he was supposed to use to focus with it, but still, like who is Thor without his hammer though? Like that's kind of one of his iconic pieces.
And it was kind of, I don't know if I'd say a letdown, but for him to go the whole rest of the movie without ever hitting someone with Mjolnir, it's like, I guess I just use my lightning now.
Right.
It's cool, but it's not the same.
He's now just a badass Palpatine.
Yeah. Unlimited power. My favorite scene was the Hulk fight. That might be one of my favorite scenes in like all the Marvel movies.
Fair.
You know what? This movie did a really good job of having a villain who wasn't just like a swarm of people. Like the Avengers movies, the first one is the Qatari
undead.
That's true, but like they had an actual villain that was able to fight. Like in the second one, or not second Thor, but in the second Avengers, they've got I can't even remember the name of the robot that they fight. Like,
Ultron?
Yeah, Ultron. Thank you. Yeah, the one that's in the title.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah. He's whatever. All the Iron Man villains are like, eh. I think Hela was actually scary because she was powerful. She looked cool, and she actually got to fight and kill people. And
lots of people.
Be hands-on without being like too CGI.
She wiped out armies.
Yeah. She's throwing them daggers everywhere. It was nice. It was refreshing. It's the same thing I liked about, well, technically all the Spider-Man movies. They're all just, it's an actual physical person, not just a CGI
she showed
bomb.
that she was a bad villain, not was just announced to be a bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
She does action for her villainy, not just being villainous.
You see the reasonings. She's gonna like execute people. She's easy to root for, or I guess not for. I didn't say that. But
Well, you root for her. She's already dead.
it's a big problem. I used to like Vegeta.
There's no harm in that. He's kind of a badass character.
What was your favorite scene?
Favorite scene was anything with Krog in it, to be honest with you. The introduction. I'll just start with. We'll just go with that one. Just his character introduction to begin with, talking about thing being a circle, but a freaky circle.
And he's talking and he runs away and comes back to him and finishes just in time. That was good.
He's like, "Oh, just don't be made out of paper." Oh, a little bit of rock paper scissors joke there for you. Like he's just so welcoming, but at the same time, like, I laugh my ass off every time he's on there. And
My favorite thing he did was when he went to kick Loki. He yells, "Die, ghost!" After the conversation's over, he disappears. He just runs over there kicking nothing. It's my favorite.
Piss off, ghost. He's gone. His little joke about the hammer pulling Thor. Oh God, the hammer pulls you off.
Wait, you were riding the hammer.
The hammer was riding your back. No,
The hammer was riding you. I don't know why I just try to do a New Zealand accent. I can't do it. All I've got is band meeting. Brit. My wife loves me dick. You ever see that video?
What?
Forget about it. My MVP was Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Keep in with my promises. If Jeff Goldblum's in a movie, he's automatic MVP, and he actually earns it in this one.
He does.
He was so weird, like the weird party DJ evil guy with the blue streak, and so good.
well.
Pete Goldblum.
His character never gets overtly upset. Like, I've seen him get shocked, but I've never seen him get like explosively upset about anything.
Which was nice.
He's always mild.
And even
in Jurassic Park, like, I'm thinking, like, I don't think he ever gets upset.
No, yeah.
Or in like Independence Day.
I've never seen him scream.
Swear, we're gonna find a scene at some point.
Man,
Just gonna let down.
he might be the real life version. No, Jeff Bridges is still the dude, but I was gonna say he gets a little agitated, but then he's just like, hey, stop that.
Obviously my MVP is Krog. I'm just gonna skip over that. I can't remember Taikiki. No,
The director.
Taika Waititi.
There you
That's
go.
what it is. Yeah, I just that's my MVP. Done and done.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain it. I've spent most of the time explaining it already.
Yeah. Played your favorite character and did all the cool shots. Well, technically you would have directed the shots, but you get the idea. Cool.
That's it.
I got nothing else unless you want to talk about your history with Marvel, which you kind of did, but
I don't have much of a history, to be honest. But like I said, if the movies are going where they're going, the way that they're going, and how they're doing their films, I will be more than happy to watch more.
how about this? If anyone's still watching, let Tom know like what Marvel movies should he watch, what comic arcs should he read. I have Marvel Unlimited. We can get almost all of them.
As long as they're 6 months old.
Right. But I mean, all the really good arcs will be passed, you know?
True.
Have you read any Spider-Gwen?
I've read like one or two, but
good.
I just haven't gone out of my way to read recently.
It's good.
I'm watching too many YouTube videos.
Yeah. Just like you, watching this.
It all circles back.
Yeah.
That being said, thank you for casting your votes. Those of you on the new Facebook page group. I did a group now, apologizing right now that you may get spammed with this stuff, but I did a group because the polls, you can have more than 1 and 2. You can have up to however many you want to put in there. I left it open for some reason for people to vote more than once, but no one really caught on to that or did, so that's great, and also I'll have to be careful with that. I will be posting hopefully the next month's themes within the last half of the month, just so everybody has enough time to get their votes in. So yeah, We'll probably announce those next video, what we got for ideas for that one.
I'd say keep up the good voting. So far, I've liked both of them. This one especially. I mean, I don't know if they've caught on yet, but I'm a big Marvel fan.
No way. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.